Mangalaba, this is the weekly highlight news of Radio and UG. I'm James. Here are the news highlights for this week. Myanmar permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Ujomoton attends the general debate of the 2024 ECOSOC Financing for Development Forum in New York. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management of NUG provides emergency humanitarian aid to people fleeing the war from Myanmar. The terrorist military junta's forces launches two 300-pound bombs in an area bombardment of Gonda village, Baikot Township of Karenni State, and other interesting news. These are the weekly news details. Myanmar permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Ujomoton, attended the general debate of the 2024 ECOSOC Financing for Development Forum at the United Nations headquarters in New York on 25th of April. The ambassador said that the recent unlawful forced conscription of the military junta have pushed many youth, including those who are working in private sector, in hiding and fleeing the country. Myanmar is currently at the intersection of political, economic, and developmental crisis. Cooperation and effective assistance from the international community should be conflict-sensitive and tailored to the aspiration of our people. It is crystal clear that ending the military dictatorship and building a federal democratic union is the only way forward to create a conducive environment to a successful implementation of the Addis Ababa Action Agenda and the 2030 Agenda affairs of the peace and stability in Myanmar. The ambassador also added that domestic and international private business and finance. The World Bank reported that financial sector reforms have also stagnated and in a danger of being revived after illegal military coup. Microfinance institutions were impacted by the subsequent domestic banking crisis, affecting 5 million customers, including many MSMEs. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management of the National Unity Government provided emergency humanitarian aid to 250 households that fled the war from Baikot Township on 21st of April. The assistance provided includes sleeping mats, fans, baby diaper, sardines, bread, snacks and soap, mosquito repellent and other necessities. The terrorist military junta forces launched in day and night bombardments on civilian houses in Myanmar and the surrounding areas along the Thai-Myanmar border. They are threatening the people's lives and property. Thus, locals have fled to Mae Sao district in that province, among other places. According to the All Myanmar Political Prisoners Network (PPNM) official's announcement on April 19, at least 4 prisoners were killed, 5 prisoners were reportedly in a critical condition, and more than 10 injured prisoners are in urgent need of the medical treatment during the shooting in Mijina prison. On 18 of April at 4 p.m., a prison protest broke out between prison officials and prisoners as the terrorist military junta granted one of 6 reduced for release conditions, although not all of the prisoners were released. Witnesses reported hearing at least 100 gunshots on 18 of April around 4:15 p.m. as 5 cars carrying 70 police and military personnel entered the Mijina prison to repress the demonstration. On 19 of April until 3 p.m., prisoners were still being taken out of the Mijina prison by ambulances, and the injured of dead prisoners were being taken out by local fire engines, but they were taken to the military compound hospital rather than the hospital. According to a Kayan New Generation Youth KNGY report, the terrorist military junta's forces launched 2 300-pound bombs in an area bombardment of the Gonda village, Baikot Township, Karenni State at 11:50 p.m. on 20th of April. As a result of the attack, 2 men and 4 women were killed, including 2 girls under the age of 5, and at least 10 were injured. In addition, it is reported that about 20 houses in Gonda village were damaged. In recent days, 3 civilians fleeing the war have been killed and others injured due to an airstrike attack of the terrorist military junta's forces on Baikot Township in Karenni State. Justice for Myanmar (JFM) has stated that the new United Nations Capital Development Fund (UNCDF) report is very irresponsible and undermines the efforts of the Myanmar people who are striving to achieve federal democracy. The report appears to legitimize the military junta as if it were the government of Myanmar, although government is not defined in a report. Justice for Myanmar concludes that UNCDF means junta since the organization is operating in Myanmar with junta permissions and that the junta is illegally acting as a telecommunication regulator in Myanmar, which is relevant to many of the issues raised. Inextricably, the report fails to address the context of the military illegal coup attempt and campaign of the terror against the people, which invokes efforts to build a digital dictatorship with electronic surveillance and mass censorship. There is a single mention of the internet shutdowns, no mentions of human rights. JFM also mentioned that UNCDF seems to be encouraging more investment in the digital economy and business with the junta, despite the legitimate national unity government guidance that companies should avoid all businesses with the junta and not make new proposals to the Myanmar Investment Commission. UNCDF also fails to identify the severe risks of business activities that can support the junta's digital surveillance effort and the responsibilities of businesses and other UN guiding principles on business and human rights to conduct, identify, mitigate and remedy negative human rights impacts. While the report mentions a complex economic and humanitarian crisis, political and social unrest and instability, it does not identify the cause of the crisis in Myanmar, which is the illegal military junta. UNCDF and the UN country team in Myanmar should be addressing the root cause of the military crisis, which is the Myanmar military and its continued impunity. After Justice for Myanmar criticized, UNCDF report on Myanmar has been taken offline. These are the weekly highlight news of video and YouTube. We will present more interesting weekly local news to you. Thanks for joining our news.